Is Joey Diaz really funny? Let's find out. Joey Diaz. It's your time. Never really gotten into Joey Diaz, but as you know, this channel is all about new things and exposing myself to new things. One-legged woman is the name of this video. I want to know why you got Joey Diaz sleeps with the one-legged woman. Excuse me. I want to know why you guys like Joey Diaz. Put me on. Let me know where he's from. I want the whole backstory, and let's get right.
One love into this.
Yo, mom in the fucking stand!
By the way, you know Potter. Did you know that he can't come?
Oh, Tom Segura.
Where?
Josh Potter can get it up, and he can
ejaculate
with a girl. No,
tremendous. That's even better.
he wants to. Though.
Who wants to come?
He wants to.
I want to drill a hole in their eyes that they can't take it no more. You know what I'm saying? When you're fucking them and their one eyeball's hanging out, and they're like, "When are you gonna come?" Because I come quick.
Yeah.
I come in a minute. So if I could come
right there with you, brother.
If I could come in 20 minutes and just keep giving you doing from pussy to ass to mouth, back to your fucking
Jeez, Joey.
drill it back
That's
to
what
your
you're
ass.
doing? That's
no,
what you're
but
doing?
that's my fantasy. If I couldn't for an hour, hitting you in the face, making you suck it, popping it out, hitting you, you're like confused. You don't know where you're going.
Licking
So he's never
toilets.
come.
He's right
Here,
there.
he's right there. Talk to him.
That's how it usually goes, by the way.
Yeah, that's it. It's an hour of fucking.
He can only come if he's off. He can't.
Okay, then when you want to come after the chick is laying there like she got shot in Vegas, you know what I'm saying? When she's laying there, the one leg is hanging, you know what I'm saying? Her mouth is stretched out, her pull, it's still open like a dragon's mouth. You know when the stays open?
Do I?
And then just laying there drinking milk, trying to recoup and shit. You're giving them like Gatorade, then
Yeah.
you just and call it a night.
There you go, man. Why are we even trying to solve this?
Dude,
problem?
I don't think it's a problem anymore.
It's not a problem.
You don't?
No, yeah.
No.
I don't,
thought you
Joey's
were-
convinced me. I mean, I want to just mangle some.
If you told
Brothers.
3 chicks that you could give them each for an hour, you could get all 3 of them to show up at once and just keep going like Don Henley style. You ever read that book? You won't work in this town again. It came out in '98 about a hooker who wrote about all her experiences, and she wrote about Don Henley, that she would go to Don Henley would order 4 bitches, and he would sit there at this table like this was his table, and that's a fireplace. He would make them bend over. Don't even look at me. He wouldn't even let them look at him. Just look towards the fireplace and bend over. And he'd do lines of coke, and then get up, open up his robe, and like 4 times. Then he'd sit back down again, and he'd do a couple more lines, and he'd have you there for 8 hours.
Dude, this
Just
could be your
bend
life.
over.
This could be your life, Josh.
God, I hope so. That's someday.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
Like when I was younger, and
Just real quick. We've actually reacted to Tom Segura on the channel before. I want to know what this podcast is. Who's that woman as well? Because I just don't know who they are. Just please put me on to who they are. This is a wild story.
and he'd do a couple more lines, and he'd have you there for 8 hours.
Dude, this
Just
could be your
bend
life.
over.
This could be your life, Josh.
God, I hope so. That's someday.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
Like when I was younger and I did coke, there was fucking 4 hours.
Yeah.
You just were giving out, looking at you like, when is this gonna stop? And then when you do kind of those long loads,
Yeah.
you ever have those loads? Like I used to be on probation, and there was a dude that was like a GI Joe dude that failed the police test, but his assistant was a good-looking woman. Like she was kind of cute. If I was 30, she was like 38. Nobody talked to her in Boulder because she had like a wooden leg. Like her leg was kind of like she had like that little limp. But you could tell the bitch had game. Like she could suck her, look in the eyes, and I could tell this bitch is deadly. But nobody talks to her because of the fucking wooden leg or whatever the fuck she's got. She got shot in Vietnam. I didn't know what happened to her. And she was very nice. I forget what her name was. I'd see her. I'd always flirt with her. But when I was doing, and I was in the probation, I figured out how to fuck with the piss test. I'm uncircumcised, so I would take like fucking pool cleaner and put it on my dick and then pull the skin over it and put like a tab over it, like a bread tab, like a fucking rubber band. And then when I would go pee, the guy would watch me.
This is the part of the video where you have to just write wow. If you're just at the part of wow right now. You're like at the part of wow right now.
Or like a bread tab, like a fucking rubber band.
Look at her face.
When I would go pee, the guy would watch me. And I would take my thing out and just pee and then pull the skin back. And all the pool cleaner would go into the fucking thing. And then I would zap the machine. They would always say to me, this motherfucker's up to something. So he asked her. He goes, maybe you could see what the fuck he's doing. So I knew, and I would call and go, I'll be there at 4, because they would call you, and then you had to call a machine that would tell you what color was up. Mm-hmm. And if the color came up, let's say your color is maroon, and they go, today's colors are green, maroon, and black, you would have to call in and tell them what time you're coming in. You had till 5 o'clock, but you had to make an appointment. Then she'd tell you, no. If he answered, that means he was going to watch you while you're pissed. But with me, they had mirrors around me. They couldn't figure out what I was doing, so they sent her in. So before I would go in, I'd fucking do a half a jerk car and get my nice and big.
Yeah.
And then I'd sprinkle it the fucking
pool cleaner.
The pool cleaner or the fucking.
Doesn't sting your dick.
I got scars. I got little holes in my Drano.
Yeah.
I would grind it up. I would fucking put it under my dick. And then
All right, yo, listen. First of all, I don't think that's worth. Would you guys do this? That's really the question. Like, would you go to this extreme? Because I don't know. Like, this is a little extreme. I guess we're not getting any ads for this one right here.
The pool
did.
cleaner?
I got scars. I got a little hole, Drano.
Yeah.
I would grind it up. I would fucking put it under my dick and then pull the skin back, and it would fall into the piss test and zap it. But before I would piss, I would take the hammer out and show it to her. Like, what do you think? What do you think? There's something nice. And she would look at it and look around the room. And not like I knew I was going to end up sleeping with her or swapping spirit with her, because I flirt with her. Nobody talked to the woman because she had a fucked up leg. So I'm off probation. I'm delivering Chinese food, and I'm slinging coke at the same time at the Chinese restaurant. So I would have you call the Chinese restaurant and say, can I talk to Joey? Yeah, what's up? Oh, you want egg drop soup? Whatever. The cocaine would be hidden under the egg drop soup, so that if I got in trouble, the Chinese people got in trouble. I didn't put it in the bag. This is when I was out already, out of prison. One night I knock on the door, and who answers the door? It's her. And she goes, oh my God, it's so great to see you. How have you been? And I go, it's great to see you. Man, I gave her a hug, and I put the Chinese down, and she goes, what are you doing with your life? I'm getting divorced, but I got into stand-up comedy, and I'm trying to deliver food to make a living. And she's like, oh, that's so sweet. You and her broke up? Oh, you must need a hug. And as I started hugging her, we started swapping spit. And I touched a little, and I could feel nobody had even touched them in 10 years. Steam started coming up. And I started singing that motherfucker like a savage and swapping spit with her. And my hand was nice and wet, and I'm pinky surrounding her ass. And I'm working, and finally I put it down slowly. And I pop her pants. I take one big fucking bitch. And I'm making out with her at the same time. So while I take her pants down, but I go, I don't want to see what the other leg is. So I took the leg off of the good leg, and I left the fucking bad leg covered because I don't want to know what it is. But she's got like a pole under there, one of those fucked up feet. I don't want to see.
Would you do it, or would you not? I would, or I would not. No judgment here. Would you do it, or would you not?
So I picked up a fucking leg, and I started eating. It was huge. I'm sucking at it like a piece of bubble gum. I look up at her, and she's like this, Christine, like with her mouth open. I go, now's the time to put that. So I switched up. I started 2-finger Louis, and I went around her, and I put that fucking hammer, and I know what to do. She's like, and at that time, I was trying to fucking lift weights and shit. So I wasn't, because somebody told me that your protein, I was retarded. Dog. You know, I'm retarded. Yeah. And when it's one of those loads, Christine, that don't stop. You ever had one of those things?
I know,
And you're sucking it with your eyes closed. And then after a minute, you open it up because you're like, when is this going to stop? And I could look at her swallowing it, and it was endless. It was fucking endless. It was just a load of death. It was like a month and a half of not Valium in there and Xanax and fucking cocaine.
Nice seeing you, Joey. Thanks for stopping by.
I shot her when I took my dick. It was like she drank a gallon of Mountain Dew. She looked at me. She started getting a little dizzy. I was selling Valium at the time. I was taking like 100 milligrams of Valium a night. When I shot in her mouth to put her in a trance, she was glassy-eyed. She gave me a $3 tip, and I left, and I never saw her again. She must have ate that Chinese food and slept for a week.
Oh my God.
Oh,
You got any dates coming up you want to put on?
You can still
You got a Twitter
feel,
handle?
You
You
can
wanna
still
plug
feel
that?
it out, like I bet, right?
it was like a 3-minute.
Wait a minute, you didn't even put it in her vagine?
No.
No,
Well, that's
the
that's
limitation of the
unloaded.
pussy eating was tremendous.
Vagine. What is she doing?
Oh, okay.
I licked it.
Doubt
Oh,
at
yeah,
some
yeah,
point
yeah.
I didn't
No,
listen
sure.
closely.
Once I
enough.
shoved my tongue black out, it's like you're 14 and you're hungry. You know. You just black out and let happen what's gonna happen anyway.
He's a wild dude.
This is too good. Oh man, you're
Fuck
the
it.
best.
Take a shower.
Fuck it.
Joey Diaz, Church of What's Happening Now.
Whew, he needs to go to church after that. You got to repent,
You go to
son.
see him at the Comedy Store. Go to his dates. Where did you have a website? I don't forget.
JoeyDiaz.net.
Jeez.
You're the best. You're the best.
So are you guys.
I love you so
Love you,
much.
Joey.
Christine, you lived that. Was saying it. That's why.
I did not
It
live
took you
the
back
love.
to college like one time.
I did not.
When you got a bad
She used to
batch
fuck
of
a lot of Puerto
Hungarian.
Rican. I was the
Puerto
Puerto
Ricans.
Rican.
Yeah, you got a bad batch of those platanitos. You just kept fucking saying this is the worst pina colada I've ever had.
So I'm a little mixed on this. I guess it started off a little very savage, like extremely savage. What do you guys think? Was it too raunchy? I thought it was cool. The joke part was good. I just thought it was just too much leading up to it. But that's just my opinion. I mean, I don't judge a comedian. I mean, I guess it's their mic, it's their stage, it's their moment. But I want to know what you guys feel. Okay. Yeah. We're at 41K. We're on our way to 1 million. I'll see you guys on the next one.